Welcome back, Boxers. In the previous couple lessons, we downloaded and installed VS Code and Node.js with NPM. If you stumbled onto this video, check out the description below for the full playlist to watch it from the beginning. For this lesson, we'll be taking the project on your local machine that you created in lesson 4 and connect it and upload it to the Firebase hosting project you created in lesson 2. We will also go through some steps in updating your project, and then I'll show you how to remove uploaded copies and prevent an overage on your account. So I have my Visual Studio project open here, and I've also logged back into my Web 123 course in Firebase, Google Firebase, and I've gone into my console, and what I did was I went to hosting, and then I get this message here. If you've never deployed hosting before for a particular project, this is the screen that you'll get. So then I clicked on get started, and then I came to this screen here. Now these instructions are fairly straightforward. One thing that I was confused on the first time around was putting in this $sign. Okay, that is not something that you need to type in. You're going to start with the command here, npm. So before we do that, everything is ready to go. Okay, I've got everything visible here in live server. So all we need to do is go into your terminal. Okay, and we do that by you can do control backtick, or you can do terminal and then new terminal, and the same type of screen will come up here. I was playing around with this earlier, that's why you see the additional text up here. So what you're going to do is just type in exactly what you see on the right, npm install, and this will install Firebase Tools globally so that you don't need to install it every time you are working on a project. And then Firebase Tools. Hit enter, and it's going to go through a process of getting all of the dependencies necessary to stay connected to Firebase. So we'll just wait for that to go through. And as you can see, it takes a few minutes to get that initial part set up. And now it looks like we're all set up. We've got the latest version of Firebase Tools. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and hit next. Okay, and now we're going to get a Firebase login. So Firebase login, and this is now going to log you in to Firebase using the current, either if you're currently logged in, it'll pull that down, or if you're not currently logged in, it will prompt you to log in through a UI that pops up. Okay, and before we go through the initialization phase here, I want to show you, I'll move this over a little bit. Okay, we currently have our style sheet, we have a JavaScript file, and our index file. And next thing we're going to do is initialize it. So you're going to see some files created over here when we initialize. And you simply do that by typing in Firebase init. Okay, and you're going to be prompted with a series of questions. Are you ready to proceed? Just hit Y and enter. Now this part here is important, or it will start you all over. Go down to hosting. For the purpose of this tutorial, this is all we're doing for now. And you're going to hit the space bar. It's important that you do that, or it will start you, it will error out and start you from the beginning. Okay, once you hit spacebar, then you can hit enter. Now it wants to connect to an existing project or create a new project for you. We already have the Web 123 course created. And as a matter of fact, this feature here, creating a project directly from the terminal, is an update that occurred within the last few weeks. So I did not update it prior to that. So we have an existing project. So you just scroll to that and hit enter. And now it wants you to select the appropriate course. So you scroll down to it, hit enter. Do you want public to be your directory by default? Just hit enter. You don't have to type anything in. This is not an SPA. We're not writing a Vue or React app. So we just hit N for no and then enter. Okay, Firebase initialization complete. Okay, and now we'll click next over here. And this is how you get your website up to the web. Okay, so we type in Firebase deploy. Okay, and now it will run through a build procedure. We only have a few files in here. So, as a matter of fact, we need to okay, we're going to get this right now because one step that we missed here was we created a public file for everything to be contained in, and we didn't move everything in there. And now I'll show you what gets moved in there. We already have an index file, okay, which is this here. We don't want to overwrite it with Firebase's default index file. So you can just right click on it and hit delete, and then grab your index file and drag it into public. Okay, Firebase RC and get ignore and firebase.json will all remain outside of public. I don't really play in either of these, but firebase.json is kind of like a config or an htaccess file. That's a highly relevant file. You can bury your redirects in there, clean URLs. There's a number of things, and I will include a link in the description so that you can get access to each of those. The other things that we need to have in our public folder, CSS, and our JavaScript folder. Oops. I put that in our CSS folder. All right, so now we have inside of our public folder, we have CSS, we have JS, and in the main public folder, we have our index file. Now, because we moved our index file and our supporting dependency files inside the public folder, now our live server is going to get an error. So for that, if you want to maintain your live server, just close the current tab and right click and go back into live server. And it will, now it's based on everything that's within the public directory. All right, now that we have everything set up correctly, now we can go inside here and run Firebase deploy on the public folder. And now it's going to deploy everything inside of public. And if we go over here, we refresh this and we see that now this is a live link. And how I got there, one way you can get there is you can get there from here, where you can click on the app itself, click on the links that are provided to you. The other thing you can do is if you hold down Control, as the instruction there says, and just click on the link, it will open up for you. So now you have officially deployed your site to Firebase. So we'll close this. Well, no, we'll keep it open for now because there's something else I'm going to show you. So let's go ahead and make an update. Okay, let's start by making an update on our local server. Okay, before, it's always a good idea to view your updates locally before you start deploying them. So let's call this something. Okay, course title. Okay, and you'll see this change when I click on this page here. Okay, course title. Now, it's not updated to the server yet because we haven't run another deploy. Okay, it's updated locally. Okay, let's change something else in here. I want to capitalize this, and I want to push my subtitle up to here, and I want my subtitle to be, let's say, a lighter gray and italicized. So in live server, I can just click on here and I can see that things are starting to shift around. But let's update our style sheet here. Okay, so the style for the subtitle is, it's a span, an H2 class. We don't need the spans in there. Class is subtitle, and oops, let's bring this up here. Okay, neaten that up a bit. Now we need to create a style for this H2 subtitle. So I'll go in here and H2.subtitle, and let's go ahead and create a style. Let's do color. We'll do CCC and font style italic. Okay, we'll just click over here. And now I just realized why that's not pulling through. I didn't bother to include the reference to the style sheet. So with Emmet, one of the things it's nice is you can just type out link and it will automatically generate the link for you. So we open the folder and styles. And that's another nice thing too, it just popped up there. If I type in the folder, okay, and I click on that folder, then it will open up all of the option files that I have within CSS so I can add it right in. Now I come over here and now I see that it's the light gray and it's italicized. Now the style sheet is taking effect. All right, and now let's go ahead and add in an image. Let's add in an image right here. This is kind of a sloppy way to do it, but this is just to show you. So let's do placekitten.com/250 by 250. Okay, and now we get a picture in there. So now we've got a number of elements that we can see are in live server. We can see that they're pulling through. So now we want to deploy them to here. And you're going to see a number of changes. So we just come down here, and all you need to do, Firebase, deploy, enter. And this really beats out development processes like FTP and in my opinion, it makes it a lot easier because it grabs everything that's been updated and automatically publishes it right to Firebase. So now we come over here and we refresh it and everything comes through. So the last thing I wanted to do is take you into Firebase and show you, let's refresh this and see if there's any additional deployments sitting in there. So I have 3 deployments here. Now, once you've made changes and deployed and made changes and deployed, etc., this list tends to grow. And when you get bigger sites, that takes up more space, more memory. So one of the things I recommend is coming in here once in a while and don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of source control, and this is kind of like a poor man's source control in a way. I'd still recommend using something like GitLab or GitHub and backing everything up. But once in a while, I still come in here and just hit delete on some of the older ones. I will tend to keep the most recent one, and then the current one you can't delete. So I tend to keep at least one in there. I think it's good practice, and if you do get an overage, and that's all contained in here in the usage report, then Google will basically shut down your site, or you can upgrade to a paid package, which is always it can be a good idea as well. All right, so for this lesson, we installed Firebase Tools. We initialized our Firebase project. We deployed a Firebase project, and we removed old or unnecessary code from Firebase. Future lessons will include how to create different branches. This is something I just learned recently. You can create a couple different branches, like if you want to create a staging branch and then and deploy to that. Once staging is approved, then you can deploy to production. It's a small process, but it's definitely worth it. I hope you enjoyed the playlist. That'll be it for this particular playlist. I will add in videos into other playlists and probably some piecemeal videos that just come out once in a while based on updates to Firebase. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe, and I will do my best at providing more videos for you.